of Reading, your host and town manager, Jane Wellman.
I love that. Thank you.
And today on Reading Between the Lines, we'll be talking trash.
I can't get enough of that sound. It's like being in a hockey stadium. It's World Cup. We need a vuvuzela. You know, that's what we need. So today, thank you, Angela. We are talking trash. I've invited our DPW director, Chris Cole, to join us. Chris has been with the town for how many years?
22.
122 years.
Don't I look great?
You look great for 122. No, Chris has been with us for 22 years, and we are getting ready to roll out our brand new trash contract with Republic Services. And so we wanted to have this conversation on the podcast so people could, access this information in a different way, right? If they're not coming to Facebook or they don't want to go to the website or there's just too much, maybe this is a fun thing to do when you're cutting onions and you just don't know what's causing you to cry. Or driving in the car. I love to think that people are listening to podcasts when they're driving in the car. I listen to podcasts driving in the car, so I learn a lot. So that could be fun too. But we want to talk about the new contract. Republic Services has been our contractor for the last number of years. Yes. Our last contract was with a company called JRM, and JRM was purchased by Republic Services. And a number of years ago, we had some challenges when they fully took over that contract, and they've recovered well from that. Yes. We were not impacted by the strike that happened last year.
Yes, correct.
And so they won the contract during a competitive process, and we spent the better part of a year crafting a massive RFP to make some changes to how things are going to be, because the contract we had 10 years ago with JRM is not replicable anymore in Massachusetts or anywhere else. So it was all the bins collected by individuals. Now it's automatic trucks with automatic arms to pick up the bins because of liability issues, labor costs, and so forth have driven the industry in different directions. So we worked very hard to make this new contract as competitive as possible because it was a significant increase in our budget. And town staff, Chris, the deputy director, Mike Hessman, our operations teams, Katie Gabriello and Josh Stallone, and myself, working with the town manager at the time, Matt Cornelis, and previously to that, trying to get out the bins. Fidel was the town manager who helped us get that money secured through town meeting, and then we rolled that out a year ago. So it's really been several years of getting to this point. Today's purpose, after that long intro, was to talk about what's changing, what are the practical differences, and it's not super difficult, but it's for people to have an understanding and get their questions answered, and then how to reach out if they have questions or concerns after this. Sure. So, Chris, why don't you talk a little bit about what items are staying the same with the new contract?
Sure. So collection days is staying the same. That is not going to change. Weekly collection for both trash and recycling is going to stay the same. There is a chance after the first year of this contract, if a select board chooses to do so, that we might go to bi-weekly recycling because it would be a cheaper cost to the town.
Yeah, but that's a $400,000 savings potentially. Yeah.
But for right now anyway, recycling is going to remain weekly along with trash. All trash recycling must be at the curb by 6:30 a.m. And this is very important because if the truck goes down your street and the trash and recycling carts are not out at your house, the truck will not be coming back, and you will have to put your barrels out next week.
The following week.
The
only way that I solve this at my house is by putting them out the night before.
Sure, yeah.
Because I am not taking anything out to the side. Nobody wants to see that. I'm not taking anything out to the sidewalk at 6:30 a.m. So we always get it out the night before. But that's a really good point. And part of the reason for that, and I think some people, JRM was great about just popping back around, but because the loads are large and they have to go up to Haverhill.
Yes.
To what's the name of the facility there now?
Reworld.
Reworld, yeah, it used to be Covanta.
Covanta, yes.
Yep, so they go up to Reworld and there's a long line. And so often the trucks get stuck in these long lines and it starts to drive up the number of hours that the drivers have been driving. And so
Sure,
they can't come back to the
Right.
community to finish a route later. If you don't get it out, you have to wait a week
Yeah.
or ask your neighbor on another street somewhere to bring your trash,
Yeah.
put it in your car. Drive it. So don't do that. But that's an important piece. So thanks, Chris.
And then also the services that we're currently receiving, like curbside leaf collection, is going to remain the same. We're actually adding a week to that, so we're going to have 2 weeks in the spring and now 4 weeks in the fall for curbside leaf collection. The curbside Christmas tree collection is going to stay in January. We're going to have still 2 household hazardous waste days. The one in the spring is being hosted by Reading, and Wakefield residents are welcome to come to that one. The one in the fall is hosted by Wakefield, and residents in Reading are welcome to go to that one.
Okay.
We're still going to be having also the 2 recycling events, the DBW garage, where residents can bring down their rigid plastics, paper shredding, styrofoam.
Sure.
One in the spring, one in the fall. So all that is going to continue.
Okay. And so let's talk a little bit about what's changing.
Sure.
Particularly, it's the new automated collection trucks. Describe what they're a little bit. People have seen some around town already. What's different about these versus what people are used to seeing?
So what you see now when they call it the old way of collecting trash is, you'll have a worker standing on the back of a truck driving down the street, and they'll just get out and empty your trash barrels, trash bags right in the back of the truck. Now, essentially, what's going to happen is with the automated collection, you're just going to have a driver on the truck. The truck is going to pull up next to the cart, and a mechanical arm is going to come out with like a claw on it, grab the barrel, and flip it up and dump it into the truck, whether it be trash or recycling.
It's like the claw.
It's like the
from
claw.
Toy Story, like that game.
Claw.
The claw. Anyway, great for kids
Yeah.
to watch the truck show. But yeah, so it's called a Corrado type. The one that we are going to have,
Yes.
where there's like a hopper in the front, and then
Yes.
that goes over the back of the
Yes.
truck and dumps in that way.
Yes, so the reason why we're having Corrado trucks for the trash is because these trucks also, in addition to collecting the curbside trash, are responsible for emptying all the dumpsters around town as well.
Okay.
So in the morning, they'll probably go and empty all the dumpsters if they have to for the day, and then come and start on the residential.
Right. So we don't have to have as many trucks in town. That also
Correct.
helps reduce cost to the town
Correct.
through our contract. Okay.
We have a video of a Corrado. Do you want to play it?
Oh, interesting that it hugs it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in Wilmington, and it has the 2 little arms on the side, so that it goes through the arms and picks it up and flips it. So
Oh,
that's
like a little
interesting that
dog.
it
Oh, really?
hugs it. Yeah.
No, it comes right around.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
And then the recycling is going to be your standard, what you've probably used to seeing for automated collection, and that's just the side arm, where they have the mechanical arm on the side of the truck.
People are seeing this in town right now.
Yeah, so that's why it is important to space your barrels properly, and I'll show a graphic a little bit later about proper spacing of barrels, but we're asking if you can space the carts about 3 feet apart, just to ensure there's proper clearance for the mechanical arm coming out, as well as vertically, we don't want you putting it under like a tree. So the trucks they're asking for about 15 feet of vertical clearance, so we don't want you putting it under like any low-hanging canopy on a tree either.
Right. Sure. So the machines can do their work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Great. Thank you. So other changes that we're looking to see. Did you want to talk a little bit about some training that they're having?
Yes, so you probably have seen a lot of these trucks in town over the past few months, and part of that was they were able to do because Republic is keeping the contract. They were using those few months under the current contract to train the drivers on how to do the automated collection, but also get the residents accustomed to using the carts and having the automated collection, in place for July.
Yep. Right, because this contract starts on July 6th.
July 6th, yes.
July 6th is the big change. All right, so you've got an image you want me to show about cart sizes.
Yes.
Let me just pull that up.
And while you're doing that, I will just intro that so everyone knows that last year we rolled out trash and recycling carts to every household in town, about 9,500, I believe.
Okay.
And the standard issue was one 64-gallon trash, that's green, and one blue 96-gallon recycling. If residents wanted a smaller version because those standard issue were just too big for them, they had the option of a 48-gallon trash or a 64-gallon recycling or a 48-gallon recycling.
Okay. Right. We had a lot of feedback from folks that a 96-gallon recycling cart is just too big for me in my household.
Yes.
And so the select board asked for more options, and we provided more options.
Correct.
And we didn't go any lower than 48 gallons because the arms don't grab them real well. And so that was a big consideration. We didn't want to have too many options either because we're storing extras.
Sure.
And we think as people start to go through this, or if the town does convert to bi-weekly recycling, they may want to, folks who had a smaller cart may go up to a larger cart if they're keeping it for 2 weeks. And then we have a program in place that if people, a large family, and they need an extra recycling cart, what do they need to do?
If they need an extra recycling cart, they can go on to the town's website, the Public Works website. There is a link on there where you can get a second 96-gallon recycling cart at no charge. Or also, if you need additional trash, there are a couple of options, which I'll talk about in a moment. You can either lease a second trash cart for $200 a year. Again, that can be done through our website again. Or you can, we have the option of overflow bags as well.
Okay, speaking of overflow, here's another image, Angela, for you to put up on the screen, talking about overflowing. So one of the conversations that I know that I've seen posted on Facebook is make sure that your bins are full, but the lid's closed.
Correct.
Part of that is to make sure that trash is not blowing around, and that happens now to some degree because it's or prior to the cart. So it's important that the lid's closed.
Yes.
Because that also is part of our contract is how much each household is allowed to throw out.
Exactly.
That's limited, so it has to be within that range. It just drives up the weight of the trucks, and then we have to pay more on our disposal contract. Okay.
Sure.
So we have an image that can go online, and it just shows the carts a few feet apart, and the lids are closed.
Yes.
Versus the other one says no.
Yes.
Double exclamation points. That's going to make that stop.
So here you can see that everything is spaced 3 feet apart, and there is 15 feet of overhead clearance. So we basically don't want you putting a cart underneath a low-hanging tree, because then the truck is not going to be able to get in there properly with the mechanical arm and properly empty the cart.
Okay, that's good. We don't want these carts put in the street necessarily either, like not in the middle of the street, right on the edge.
Right,
on
on the edge,
Yes.
or the tree lawn, if it's a
Yep.
busy street, maybe the tree lawn or something.
Okay, all right, good to know.
Related to the way these trucks collect everything, the mechanical arm is only on one side of the truck. So one thing we came to realize is that one-way streets and dead-end streets that don't have any mechanism for the truck to turn around at the end, the truck has to go down one way, or on the dead ends, the truck has to back down. And so we sent out letters to residents on all of these affected streets.
Right.
And some folks are going to be asked to move their carts to the opposite side of the street on their day of collection, so all the carts are on the same side.
Yeah, that's going to be
That is-
just like in some places, all the mailboxes are on the same
Yes,
side of the street
yes.
in some areas. And so we, I know you guys are working with residents who might have mobility issues.
Yes.
They have concerns about that. You can call DPW.
Absolutely.
And have those questions worked out with staff. So we're cognizant that that's not going to
yes.
be able for everybody, and so
Yes.
we'll work on that on a case-by-case basis with our contractor as well.
Yes.
We understand that. And those folks who live on those streets right now are accustomed to the trucks backing down.
Yes.
You know, they understand that they can only go one way on that street. So, you know, those folks will have a bit of an adjustment, and we want to work with them and see what we can do to make sure that everybody's getting what they need and it's not an onerous
Absolutely.
task. Yeah. So we just want folks to know the town is here, trying to help everybody, and bring this contract in a way that isn't, you know, incredibly high and, you know, as reasonable as we
Absolutely.
can. Okay, great. What else you got?
And then the other aspect of this, so in preparation for putting this contract out, in order to try to get the best pricing possible,
Right.
the town performed a recycling audit, and
A
that was
recycling audit.
audit.
Do we have a? There it is. Recycling audit. This, folks, if you're not awake, you should wake up for this. I don't know. I mean, we got to make it interesting, but the recycling audit is super cool. Also, this is not a fun job. And so explain how they did the recycling audit and then why it's important.
So basically, we took a couple of sample trucks every single day during the course of 1 week, and the trucks were dumped out on the floor of the recycling facility in Peabody, and they literally sorted the different materials right there on the floor and identified what Reading was putting in their recycling.
They were sorted by hand
Sorted by hand, yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dirty jobs.
And then they supplied a report to us. And basically, Reading does very good on recycling, but there are a few common mistakes that were found.
Do we
And
have this on
yes, we do.
All right, I'll dig it up. Keep going.
And you know, some of the common mistakes were there was like plastic film or plastic wrap, like cellophane, that cannot go on the recycling because it gets tangled up in the sorting equipment
very thin. Yeah.
Yes. Same with we even found some electronics and small appliances that people put in, and small electronics can actually be gotten rid of free at the DPW garage. We have a container down there that folks can just bring those down.
So like little radios, like an iPod.
Yeah. Anything with a plug, exactly.
Okay, not lithium batteries though. We don't
Correct.
want
Not
those.
not lithium batteries.
Okay,
No.
so maybe not an iPod.
And there were also textiles, clothing, you know, rugs, towels in there that those can't be put in the recycling either.
Okay.
There's companies like Simple Recycling that we deal with in town that will take some of your textiles, clothing, some of your old towels, and they repurpose them. Shredded paper too, believe it or not, shredded paper cannot be recycled because when you think about like confetti, you know, it just goes everywhere
Sure.
at the sorting facility and does not recycle well.
Okay.
And then also styrofoam and foam packing material, that can either go to our DPW garage. We have containers down there for certain types of like the packing styrofoam that you see, but no like colored styrofoam and so forth. You know, any of that should just go in your regular trash.
Okay, so colored styrofoam, any pink styrofoam? I got a lot of pink styrofoam.
Correct.
I have no pink styrofoam.
So like the styrofoam food trays that you get, we don't want any of those.
We don't want none of
That's
that.
got to go in trash.
Trash, okay. But the purpose of the audit was to determine what's the value of Reading's recycling.
Correct.
So because there's a commodity value
Yes.
to each type of recycling. This is how nerdy we get about stuff like this, is how much is my recycling worth? And it really matters because we negotiated it into the contract
Yes.
that we would receive a value based on this audit that was done at a mundane time of the year. It wasn't
Correct.
lots of boxes it wasn't like, you know, during the holiday season or something like that. And so it turns out that Reading typically recycles higher value. Our mix is higher value.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's because it's paper
Yeah.
and it's cardboard
A
boxes.
lot of cardboard, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, and glass apparently not a lot of value in recycling.
Yeah, not a
We
lot
were
of not a
shocked
lot of
by
value.
this.
Yeah, surprising.
Yep, but paper and cardboard are better. So that means that as we recycle those, it doesn't cost us as much to recycle.
Sure.
We're not, you know, getting paid for our recycling so much, but it's costing us less because of the commodity value that can be done when you resell it. And at their new recycling facility that we toured, I don't know, a couple months ago,
In Peabody.
this is an amazing facility. They have AI sensors all over the facility, and it shoots jets of air to separate out the recycling. So the pieces, so like the plastic goes over here and the paper goes over, and it just does it through AI and little jets of air. And that's one of the reasons why folks can't package in the recycling. We don't want you to put paper inside paper bags.
Correct.
No bags in the recycling, period.
Yes.
But don't people put a paper bag as a liner in their bin in the kitchen, and then you put all your paper in, or you put other things in it, and you just throw it in your bin. But we need you to dump that bag out, and you can fold it or you can put it in. But just because everything gets separated out through the facility, and so some of that will fall out. But that's one of the things they've asked us
correct.
to do. Is that
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's a fair. And then they pack everything up in these cubes, and I think we have some pictures on our website
Yes.
on Facebook that we posted.
Yes, we do.
It's really amazing.
Yes. And just to clarify, you can put paper bags loose in the cart, but no plastic bags.
No plastic bags get jammed up.
Yes.
In the equipment, the little kind of
Correct.
machinery that
Yes.
moves, and no
So
plastic bags
should
at all.
just be,
Even those thicker ones?
yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
no
yeah.
plastic bags whatsoever.
good practice,
Okay.
just don't put any
Okay.
plastic
So
bags.
the thicker
Okay.
ones, like you get at Market Basket, you can take back to Market Basket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I
can recycle
never
them.
knew that.
Yeah, Market
Look at
Basket's
that.
there for us. So
Or they can be repurposed for other uses.
I mean,
I use them all the time.
I use those thick ones around my house for everything.
yeah,
you know, yeah.
I just reuse them at the grocery store all the time.
Or
So
I just, pack your lunch up, all that kind of
it's a
good
big
stuff.
lunch, Angela.
I mean, I work long hours.
Yeah,
Jane.
you do. And you get the big bottle. The big bottle. Anyway, please continue, Chris. What else? What else? So I think that's a good conversation about
yeah.
the recycling audit.
Definitely. Yeah, so we talked about the second trash carts that residents can lease those for $200 a year and can sign up for those through our website. And if you go on partway through the year and decide that you might want a cart, and it's not going to be a full year because the year goes from like July to June.
Your kids come back from college,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, we need another bin.
There will be a prorated amount, so you won't have to pay the full $200 if you just sign up for one partway through the year.
And our system just automatically prorates it for you. Yep.
Yes. And then I mentioned overflow bags. So these overflow trash bags, they are 33 gallons.
That's more than the average kitchen size,
Yes.
a 13-gallon
Yes.
tall kitchen bag. So this is 20 more gallons. It's a pretty good size bag.
They are a lovely color of purple.
We didn't get to choose that color, folks. That was not up to us. That was what was available.
Well, no, actually, we went purple because this same company services the area communities.
Right.
And none of the area communities have purple, so we couldn't be confused with other.
We couldn't. We had to take a color
Yeah.
that other communities around us don't have.
Correct.
And so I think purple is lovely, and
It
it'll
is.
go with our fantastic blue and green bins. And I forgot to mention that today's show is sponsored by the letter T and the Muppet Oscar the Grouch. So that's how you remember that your green bin is for trash because of Oscar the Grouch. We had many debates about which should be what color, and that's how we ended up where we are.
And so these overflow bags also, you can get them in rolls of 5 bags. They will cost $15 a roll. And currently they are in stock at Market Basket.
Okay, great.
I'm not sure where in Market Basket they will be having them. Maybe the customer service desk, I'm not sure.
We got to find that out. We got to take a drive by.
And we're also selling them right now at our DPW office right here in Town Hall.
That's great. And these bags are fantastic
They are.
it's the holidays. You don't really need an extra bin.
And we also are all working on other locations too to sell these overflow trash bags, such as like Stop and Shop, CVS, Walgreens. Those are still in process, getting the logistics worked out with the company on those, but those should be coming soon, so stay tuned.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
The other thing with overflow bags is you're only allowed one overflow bag to put out per week. And if you're already putting a second trash cart out for that specific week, you cannot put an overflow bag two because we're trying to limit the amount of trash that you put out each week.
Right. It's not unlimited trash
No.
anymore.
So 2
JRM.
trash receptacles, whether it's a barrel in a bag or 2 barrels.
Correct.
And the bag has to be put on
On
top of
the cart.
the closed cart.
And
And that's because the automatic arm comes and picks
Yes.
the whole thing up, and you don't have to have a
Yes.
driver get out of the vehicle and slow down the collection.
And the contents of the bag should not be any more than 30 pounds because the mechanical arm is only so strong.
And bulk collection
yeah,
is
bulk
changing,
collection, yeah.
and this is going to be a bigger change for
Yeah.
some folks because in Reading right now, you can throw out one bulk item per week.
One free bulk item per week.
Yeah, and that was a generous contract. Those days are long gone.
And we also had a free scrap metal collection in the spring. That is going to be no longer either.
No, okay.
So
how does it work now?
So right now, under the new contract, so all bulk items, including metal items, are going to have to be scheduled and paid for by calling Republic Services. So the phone number is on our website and on literature that you have been sent, but that number is 1-800-442-9006. Again, say that 1-800-442-9006, and you just call up Republic, tell them what you are trying to get rid of, and you can pay for it right over the phone.
Different items have different costs available to them. But if you need to get rid of a bathtub, which is kind of a problem, every time I'm trying to get rid of a bathtub, my gosh. And so that's $80 to have them come to your house and pick it up and take it away. And so while that's a hard thing to get rid of. You don't have to put it in a vehicle and take it to a dump. Somebody will still come to your house and get it for you. And things that's more on the expensive side. But small burnable bulk items, because those go to Reworld.
Yes.
That's why they have to be burnable. Those are just $30. So that's a pretty good size. That's be 4 kitchen chairs, for instance. That's not just one.
Correct.
It's 4 for 30. So it's not terrible. But you work with Republic, they will tell you how to do it, where to put it,
Yes.
when to expect that collection, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
What if my cart breaks?
So if your cart breaks, you should go on to C-Click-Fix and tell us about it.
I love C-Click-Fix.
Yes.
C-Click-Fix is my favorite. Okay.
And that's one of the changes under this new contract is currently, if your cart breaks, Public Works comes out and fixes it, whether it needs a new lid or new wheels or something like that. But under the new contract, Republic's folks are going to be doing all that for us.
That's great. That's
Yes.
included in the contract so that Republic will just do the repair and they will get that C-Click-Fix.
Yes, they will.
We have routed it so C-Click-Fix requests will go straight to Republic for certain
Yes.
items.
Yes.
And we made use of C-Click-Fix a lot during our trash problems in the past, and it was so great because C-Click-Fix is set up so that the supervisor who's directly in charge of that particular issue, they get an email directly to them, alerting them when they come in the morning. They can run a report and see what's going on. It's a really great system, and more and more people use it. We want lots of people to use it because it's easy, it's accountable. You can go back and check it. You'll get a notification back that says when it's been seen, what they're doing about it, and folks really, really like it. And it's much easier for our staff to manage. We don't monitor Facebook for issues that are going on.
Sure.
And if it's not particularly special, you don't have to necessarily call DPW. You can enter C-Click-Fix on your phone, or you can go on the website and do it. Either way,
Yeah,
it's
I was going to
fantastic.
ask where can they find C-Click-Fix?
C-Click-Fix is, if you go onto the town's main website, readingma.gov,
Yes.
there's a series of big circles, and you can put this up when you do the podcast.
Sure.
And one of them is Stay Connected. And that is how to stay connected to the town in a whole bunch of different ways, and C-Click-Fix is on there. You can also get to C-Click-Fix through the DPW page.
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
perfect.
And then you can pick like a category of like what's the problem, and we have a lot of different categories, and so it's a great service. But I know initially when we first rolled out the carts, the company that came in and assembled them and delivered them, we were noticing that there were problems with the wheels.
Yes.
We had a lot of problems with wheels,
We
which
did.
we found was very alarming, and we called the vendor. We were
Yes.
talking to them all the time anyway, and they were still rolling out these carts, and said, "What's going on? How dare you?" And they went out and picked up, found the carts on trash day and fixed them right there on the side, like when
Wow.
people's trash has been where they get new wheels. And I think a lot of it was they were moving so quickly when they were assembling them that they were not clicking the wheels all the way
Yeah.
on in a number of these cases, and so
Correct.
that seems to have been improved. But for now, if somebody's cart breaks, going forward, July 6th,
Yes.
they can just have Republic will fix it.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
And also, I will add that if anyone is looking for an additional cart, as I said before, they should just go on through the Public Works webpage, and there's a link on there that they can go through the OpenGov portal and request either the new trash or recycling cart.
Right.
And so that's a different system. It's not see-click fix. See-click fix is for problems. If you want to, secure an additional trash bin or recycling bin, OpenGov has payment options. And so that's why you go that way. But if you come through the town's website, through DPW, you can find it. And then tell us about some of these other pieces that we have.
So, as you can imagine, with these carts, the cardboard, your Amazon packages, all the cardboard
So
just
many
builds up.
packages. Oh my gosh. Somebody in my household bought this device that has like a little cutter on it, and it's like a battery operated, and you can zzz through,
I've seen
buzzsaw through all these. It's very satisfying. It's very satisfying to just buzzsaw through these and cut down these cardboard boxes. But yes, I think that helps.
Yeah, so to avoid having to fill your carts up with nothing but cardboard, we are going to be having a cardboard dumpster down at our Public Works garage. And the cardboard needs to be flattened because these dumpsters only have a little slot at the top, forcing the cardboard to be flattened so you can get as much as we can inside the dumpster.
Right.
And that'll be available Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 2:30, excluding holidays. And one thing we also are going to start doing is we're bringing back the DPW garage being open for a couple of hours on Saturday mornings from 9 to 12. That's going to be starting July 11th.
Okay.
And, residents can, come down, do your cardboard, styrofoam, electronics, if you can't get there during the week.
Okay, that's great. That helps out people who are working, those hours during the week.
Yes.
So I think that's fantastic. Tell us about food composting.
So
You've been working with Reading Compost.
We are, yes. And beginning sometime this summer, we are going to be having a food composting container down at the DPW garage. So right now, residents can subscribe to Black Earth Compost, and they can have pickups done curbside right in front of the house for their food scraps. But this container is going to allow you to bring your food scraps down without a subscription and just empty them into this container down at the garage.
It's great for people who live in apartments or condominiums
Yes.
and they don't have, the ability to bring out a small bin under the curb, and you don't have to pay anything for it either.
Correct.
So it's huge. Food waste is very heavy.
Yes.
It doesn't burn well, but that's fine because those, Covina is Reworld's very hot. But it's very, very heavy. And so diverting more food into compost, more food scraps to compost is fantastic for Black Earth because they're creating all kinds of soils and people can get, compost for their gardens and so forth. And it reduces the amount of weight that we see in our, that we're paying for as a community when it goes through the disposal.
Sure.
So yeah, it's
RCTV
green.
did work with the composting group here in Reading, so
That's
there is a
right.
video out there that talks about what food waste
Can you link
can
to
be
that video
composted.
from this?
We'll get all fancy for this podcast just for you, Jane.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But seriously, because I talked with Reading Compost, and I think for a lot of people it just seems like a hard thing to do, or I don't know anything about it, and to put mental energy into figuring it out is, but it's really actually pretty simple. And once you realize how easy it is, it's like, oh, this makes sense. I can do this. I don't have to buy the subscription to Black Earth, but that's also pretty convenient for a lot of people too.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then to help accommodate the new the bulk for the bulk items, we're going to have one in the fall, one in next spring. We're going to have 2 bulk drop-off events
At the garage.
DPW garage.
Okay. That's great.
We're still working logistics out on that, but stay tuned for how that's going to work.
So I can bring my bathtub down there. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Love a good stay tuned.
Love a good stay tuned. Exactly. This is a cliffhanger. This is a cliffhanger podcast. No, so that's great. So I think you've covered most of the stuff. What's the question that you think you've gotten the most or you've seen the most?
Probably, I have a large family. The carts that you're going to be giving us are just not going to be enough. What are my options? And in actuality, what you can get now with the 264-gallon carts is more than what our current allowance is currently.
In our contract.
In our contract right now. So
Right.
264-gallon carts gives you 128 gallons. Right now, in the current contract, you're only allowed 120 gallons.
Okay.
So,
But you have to pay
yeah,
for that
you
additional
would have to pay for
64.
the additional
You pay for the
64-gallon
additional
cart.
64. So with the new contract, even if you do have a large family and
Yeah.
you need those additional services, you can go to that additional cart.
Correct.
And you'll be fine. You may also find you don't need that additional cart.
Correct.
And so if you haven't gotten one, don't get one initially. Wait and see
Yes.
how that works for you and your family. Maybe the overflow bag's a little easier now and then for big family events.
Or the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. But we're here if you do need to procure another one, we can manage that for you. Okay.
All households should have received a calendar this week, and I believe I have a graphic, Jane, for that if you want to pull that up. But
it's
this
right
this
here.
is, I'm really excited about this. This is a year-long calendar that shows all of the events that we have scheduled for recycling drop-offs, your trash delays for when there's a holiday. We have days on there highlighted for when the curbside leaf collection is going to happen, your hazardous waste days, all those fun events.
Okay.
So you can just put this on your refrigerator and see what's going to be happening any given week.
Okay, that's great. So if we have, for example, on here, you can see that July 4th is a holiday,
Yes,
but we don't normally have trash collection on a Saturday.
Correct.
Anyway. So you'll note that there's no delayed collection line. So the whole week will get highlighted if there's a delayed collection following
Correct.
typically a Monday holiday, like September 7th is Labor Day. That whole week is delayed and it goes through to Saturday. So it's pretty easy to read. Folks will have to get used to it a little bit. But
and then you'll see like in November, for example, Veterans Day on November 11th is on a Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday are regular collection days, but Wednesday is the holiday, and so everything on Thursday and Friday is delayed by one day.
It's hard to read that red over the blue, over the brown. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
we
easier
had some challenges trying to get all the colors to work together.
to work out. That's okay. That's all right.
It's like your barrels
Next
with your
time-
green and your blue and your purple. You gotta
purple
work those
bag.
colors together. Yep.
Yep. No, it's gonna be very colorful. All right. Great. Well, thank you, Chris.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thank you for having
you
me.
and your staff and all of our staff who've been involved in this process for a long time.
Yes.
We're at this moment now where it's about ready to go. And we've been working with Republic Services. We do have a great relationship with a
Yes,
team
we
that
do.
we work with at Republic Services.
Yep.
And they've been very willing to work with us through this and work out this little piece and this little piece. And there's a lot of detail that goes into it. I think the contract is 100 pages or something like
Yeah.
that. It's very long.
It is.
And we've read every word of it a few times. So
And then some.
yes, exactly, and argued about some more of it. So there's a lot that's gone into it, and we hope that this will meet the needs of the community without the massive increase we were really afraid we were going to be getting as we go into a challenging budget season ahead of us for FY28. Something that we're really working a lot on right now, and that'll be a future podcast.
Hey.
So thank you so much, Chris, for being here and
thank you.
Talking about this today. And thanks, Angela and RCTV, for all your help. And Logan's here, and he works at RCTV, and he has been a trooper today as well. So thank you very much. And we appreciate you listening to Reading Between the Lines. So say it, which way? Reading Between the Lines. What is the name of the show?
Reading.
It's Reading.
Between the Lines.
Thank you. It's better when you say it. Thank you very much.